first aid is often overlooked. You may have bandages, gauze, and antiseptics on hand, but you most likely don't have everything that you need, nor are you trained or prepared in how to use these items if you had to. Today I want to talk about a recent class that I took from Refuge Medical that seriously gave me a confidence boost and a lot of vital information when it came to first aid. So I have very minimal training when it comes to first aid. My mom worked in the medical field, so a lot of the stuff that I learned came from her, and it was all great information, but I don't feel like that I was very fully prepared. And even now, I don't think that I'm prepared as I could be. So I recently took Refuge Medical's first remote class that they had available. They do a lot of in-person training, which we'll get to talk about in a couple of minutes, but I decided I wanted to try their remote course before even thinking about going there in person, and I want to tell you guys my thoughts on it. I took this class a little over a week ago, and it was a 4-hour remote class, and that was one of the things that I loved about it, was that I didn't have to go anywhere to attend this class. I just had to be available for those 4 hours that the remote class was going on. It was super easy to access. They just sent me a link the morning of the class, and when it was time for the class, I clicked in and I was there. I also really enjoyed how the info came from great sources. So they talk about their sources in the class, and it was all very good. And I love how they also showed real life videos and examples of what they were teaching. I also learned a lot about how to identify and treat life-threatening bleeding, which I think is something that really isn't covered a lot or talked about when it comes to first aid. For example, if you walk into a business, a mall, you may see like an EED, a basic first aid kit, but do they really have the tools on hand to stop life-threatening bleeding, like a tourniquet, gauze so that you can wound pack? That's important information to know, and by learning this, I knew what I needed to have on hand in case something like that happened. Most of us here probably know that it's important to have a tourniquet on hand, or even multiple tourniquets on hand, just in case you need them. And if you guys don't have one, you should definitely at least have one in your first aid kit, in your car, in your house, somewhere nearby that you can get it. In the remote responder class I took, they showed you how to properly use and stage a tourniquet so that it's ready when you need it. We also practiced putting it on and leaving it on so that we knew what that would feel like later. They didn't cover a lot of other stuff other than major bleeding. They covered a lot of different breathing issues and how to treat them until help gets there. They showed some videos from their training that they've done with people, which I think was really helpful because they showed what they were doing, and then they even showed like the constructive criticism that they gave them afterwards. And they talk a lot about keeping yourself safe in a situation where you're helping someone else, which again, I think a lot of people would overlook that. Like, you're gonna see someone who needs your help, you're just gonna jump in and help them without even thinking about your own safety or the safety of the other people around you. So I think that that was an important topic to cover as well. And because this was a live session, which I really liked, you were able to ask questions and get them answered live. I did not see a question go unanswered on the remote responders course. I even asked a few questions myself and they all got answered. And if the date of the remote course happens to be on a day where you can't watch it, it was totally okay because they did leave it available for a few days for you to watch after the fact. So even if you're not available at the day or time that the remote responder course is going to be, you could still watch it for a few days after that. They also wanted me to let you guys know that they're working on a virtual education platform, which they're all super excited about. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see it. So they're gonna have lots more remote classes. They're gonna have more in-person classes in the future, which we're gonna talk about in a minute because I have dates of more classes coming up and discount codes for you. I wanna talk about a couple of concerns that maybe for some people, but not others, okay? So the first thing that I saw was, obviously as a remote course, this is not training, but it is a good place to start, especially for someone like me who's had virtually no training. Or it's a good place as just a refresher course if you've had training, but maybe it was a long time ago. It really did give a confidence boost. And I felt like that even if you've had training, this is a great refresher course or a confidence boost that you may be needing right now. Another thing is that images are going to be graphic and they may not be suitable for all people. So if this was something that you were hoping to maybe enroll your kids in, you may just want to keep in mind that they are showing real life videos and examples, and some of them were graphic. So just keep that in mind. So I believe the worst image that I seen was near the beginning. They did show a video of someone bleeding out. So like if you faint at the sight of blood, that's just something to keep in mind, that they may show videos like that on the next class as well. And I think it's all very important and necessary to get good training and instruction, but I could understand why that wouldn't be suitable for some people. So just as a FYI. And then the one other thing that I noticed that you might want to keep in mind is some terms I found were a little hard to understand for someone like me who doesn't know much about anything medical wise. So I was sitting there during the class. I had to Google a couple of terms, which isn't a big deal. Totally understandable as well. And it was probably just me because I don't know anything about medical stuff. So I did have to Google a couple of terms, but that's not a big deal, and it still makes the class 100% worth it. And now I know what those terms mean too. So overall, it was a really important class, I think, to take, and I highly recommend showing it to any of your entire family if you can, and if you're comfortable with it. And I have some pretty awesome deals to offer you all for the next classes coming up. So let's talk about those real quick. So they have an in-person class for June 22nd. If you want all of the details, I'm going to leave links down below for all this stuff. They have offered our subscribers a 20% off discount code for the in-person class. So that is going to give you almost $100 off the in-person class. And that's going to offer real instruction and training that you guys will need. I'm honestly thinking about taking an in-person class myself very, very soon. But they'll be there with you, helping you, guiding you every step of the way through that class. Okay, so if you want real instruction and training, I highly recommend the in-person class if you can do it. So I'm going to leave the link for that down below, and I'll leave the 20% off code down below for you as well. Now, if you want to do their next remote class, which I recommend if you can't make it to their in-person class, or maybe you've already had a lot of extensive training and so you just want a little refresher course, their next remote class is July 11th. Again, all details, I'm going to leave a link down below so you guys can find it on their website. We have a 10% off discount code for that one for you. And if you purchase anything on their website that is $299 or over, you get the remote class for free. Okay? So either you can use the 10% off code to get the class, or you can spend $299 on their website and get the class for free. Okay? So if you guys needed some more kits, if you need some more medical equipment, I highly recommend grabbing it there. My 10% off code will work for any items on their website. So if you guys need to buy tourniquets, if you need to buy kits, maybe you need to buy a new kit for your car or your house or your barn, you can use that 10% off code on any of the items for their website. All right, so let me know down below, have you taken a Refuge Medical class yet, and how did you like it? I'd love to know. Don't forget to check out those links and codes down below, because I really, really think that this is important, necessary information that everyone should know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it out with your family members and friends so that they can be prepared too, and subscribe. See y'all soon.